All right, let's go. We're going to give you 4 ways to help you put your brain into solution mode. All right. We're going to also talk about cute little puppies. So there's that. All right, let me get my screen up here. All right, we are going to start talking about puppy love for the brain. What does that even mean? Well, we need to think about the brain as a cute little puppy and that we cannot leave it to chance that we're taking care of it, right? So we have to put it in order for it to come up with creative solutions for the big problems going on today. There's 4 things we can do, okay? So let's go. So let's just consider this both the warm, silly challenge, a 4-week challenge for your brain to put it in solution mode, but also to address serious things that are going on right now. Everyone wants to know, what can I do? How can I help? How can I change things? Well, the best thing we can do is everybody live in their gifts and strengths and come up with their best ideas. So how do we even do that? We, number one, take small little actions to support that amazing brain that is, stuck between your ears. It can't get out and help itself. So it's up to you to put it into solution mode. And you got this. You can do it. Okay, so we're going to talk about 4 quick little actions you can take this month, maybe one a week. You're just going to build these little habits. It's going to make a huge difference so you can change the world, right? We need everybody really being able to do what they can do. So, how can we change the world when we're all exhausted, right? Like, how can that even happen? So, let's just think about the brain as a sweet, adorable puppy. But with a puppy, you don't just think like maybe it'll find its dinner, maybe it'll have a nap, maybe it has a place to sleep. You intentionally think of its day and how you're going to manage its day and get it food, you give it water, you play with it, you let it rest. We have to kind of think of those things as well for the brain. It's locked up between your ears. And in order for us to get it to work at work, to focus at work, to feel supported, so that we can leave an impact in this world, we have to treat it like a cute little puppy. Okay? So, one neuroscience backed action each week can improve focus, restore our agency, feel like we can actually do something, and build connections so that we can forget that feeling of just overwhelm or feeling stretched. So number one, week one. This is week one, so you can pencil these in if you want all the details and a checklist. Then come into especially if you're a woman doc. So I have a woman doc membership or community called Fresh Path MD, and so that's where you can get the handouts, the weekly reminders, and the checklists. So if you're a woman doc, come on in, join me there. Otherwise, just soak this in and take your notes and take this home so that you can put these actions into place in your own world right now. Okay. So one is what we call the puppy pause. Pause, not like pause like hands, but pause, like take a break. Think about it a little bit, because the brain itself, it needs to make sure it feels safe. So if we don't feel safe, it's not your solution mode thinking. Okay. So these days, when there's so much going on and so many challenges and so many changes, we have to make sure we tell our brain we're safe. It's a way to put it in solution mode, to dial up our ability to come up with creative solutions at work. So number one, we're going to take the puppy pause. We're going to pause, 3 slow, deep breaths. Put your feet straight on the floor. Maybe you put your hand on your belly or on your chest so that you can feel your deep breath. That tells your body you slow down, deep breath, so that you can tell your brain, like, everything's all right. I can do this. It will turn up your ability to focus. It will turn up your ability of the front part of the brain. We call it the prefrontal cortex, to think of ideas that you can use at work. We call it the pause. This month in this challenge, we're going to call it the puppy pause. How to pause so that you can turn up your focus and turn up your solution-based thinking. Week 2, okay? So that was week 1, is a pause, 3 deep breaths. If you can do it for 3 minutes, even better. Maybe week 1, you're going to think about it 3 times a day at work. 3-minute pause, deep breaths. Week 2, it's called leash and lead. So these routines that we need for puppies, we take it for a walk as soon as it wakes up. We watch for its patterns, so we learn how to deal with it and when it wants to eat and sleep. And it becomes a better dog when it knows what to expect. Well, our brain is really similar. It likes predictable routines. So how can we support that? Because it will lessen how many decisions you have to make every day. And that takes something off your cognitive load. That's energy your brain has to make in making a lot of decisions. So certain things are just a given for you, right? So how about this week, week 2 of the Puppy Love Challenge to support your brain and solution mode thinking is to number 1, wake up, make sure you're hydrated. 2 big glasses of water in the morning, I try to do. 2 minutes of movement, some kind of movement, and then take a index card and write your priority of the day. Maybe it's focus, maybe it's kindness, maybe it's a certain project you have to get done, maybe it's support, maybe it's impact maybe it's solutions. Like we are looking for solutions these days. We want everybody working in their solution focused brains, because these days, locally, regionally, nationally, globally, we need a lot of helpers. We need a lot of people creatively coming up with solutions. So week 2 is leash and lead, the routine that you may have every day. So hydration, a 2-minute movement. Maybe you're going to do a dance. Maybe you're going to stretch. Maybe you're going to do a stretch at your desk when you get there. I do some yoga stretches right at my desk. Maybe you're going to turn on YouTube and learn a dance move. I've been known to do that periodically with no videos. And then you're going to take a minute after you've done this week, and you're going to think like, how'd that feel? Am I feeling any differently? Am I seeing that I can focus a little faster? Am I feeling more refreshed throughout the day? How do you feel with that new routine where you don't have to decide anything? You're going to do it every morning. It's going to take you maybe 10 minutes, probably 5 to 10 minutes. Okay? You have that time. Okay, week three. Okay, so week 1, we talked about the pause. Week 2, we talked about a strategy to have regular, quick 5 to 10 minutes start of the day. Week 3, play and reward. Why? Again, we want to put the brain in solution mode. How do we do it? Well, 15 minutes of silly play. What could that be? It could be dancing. It could be doodling on a paper. It could be petting your dog. It could be playing with, your kids. And then add a tiny reward. Like I love to have a nice warm cup of tea. I love this mug because it has family pictures on it. Maybe your reward is that you're off your phone for these 10, 15 minutes. This is non-phone activity. Why? Well, it just helps the brain increase motivation, creativity, and that reward sensitivity for sustainable actions. When we move physically, when we're petting a dog, that's increasing our parasympathetic, our relaxation mode, so that we can go back to solution mode. But we have to cool off. You have to kind of recharge. It's like the phone. You got to charge it up a little bit. Okay. So this week, think about every day, 15 minutes of silly play, just something that is just you're off your phone, you're not concentrating, you're enjoying yourself. Put in the comments what you might do, play and a tiny reward. And just let me know a surprising idea that came or a surprising outcome. You felt more relaxed. You felt more ready to go. You took 15 minutes. You learned a new dance on YouTube. You were playing with, the kids for 15 minutes. And you just felt like, wow, I could get my work. If you work from home, maybe, and you're playing with your kids on break, you could get your work done faster. We can learn to work with our brain. We don't have to continually be working against it. Week 4, we're already at week 4. So the 4th tip we're giving. So we want to think about the social powers and belonging. Puppies are born in a litter. A lot of puppies all sleeping together, all warm and supporting each other, and with the mom nursing. So all together. And then they go to different houses by themselves. So they're used to being together. So they miss that. A lot of times when we've gotten puppies, they cry the first few nights. It's so sad because they miss that together time. So we've done things like give it a t-shirt that smells like us, or put a clock that has a tick to it so they hear that regular tick. Think of the mom's heartbeat or whatever you can do. And I'm sure there's a lot of other ideas. You can put it in the chat. What do you do with new puppies that are crying in the middle of the night? You want that social support is vital. It's just absolutely how we feel safe. When we feel safe, we can come up with solutions. So again, we want to feed the brain what it needs and give it what it needs so we can come up with solutions and solve problems. There's a chemical hormone in the brain called oxytocin that mothers give off or we all give off when we give hugs, when we nurse a baby, we do. When we look people in the eyes, we do. So it helps to strengthen the bond between humans and builds our resilience. Our resilience is our ability to handle stressors and to bounce back. We want to keep being able to bounce back. There's always a challenge. How do we bounce back and keep moving forward? And then the accountability is like, we care about you. You're in our social community. We care about you. We're going to take care of you. So a lot of times when we're stressed, we do less for the brain. We don't have as good food. We eat less. Maybe we eat junk food. Maybe we sleep less. We call our friends less, call our families less because we're busy and we're stressed. But actually, it needs to be the opposite. Just think again of a cute little puppy, what it needs when it's scared and it's alone and it just comes to a new house. It needs extra support, not less, right? So maybe after this week, trying just reaching out to a friend or a colleague, a 10-minute walk and talk, or a text, just check in, how you feeling, how are things going? I was thinking about you today. I saw something, something like that. Just a check in, a reminder. I'm thinking of you text, and let me know how it felt. Put it in the chat if you've done that. What do you think you might do? And then what are the rewards for you? Because it reminds you that you're part of a circle of support, right? And that if I support somebody, they reach out to support somebody, it just helps the whole process. And so if we want people living in a healthy way and supporting all the scary, dangerous things that are going on now, we need people feeling supported, that they know we're there, that we care about them. And that's part of putting people in solution mode. So that's week 4. Okay, so back to real life. We have these 4 things we're going to do. The puppy pause, deep breaths. We're going to talk about that tiny morning rhythm we're going to start and do it routinely. A moment of play throughout the work week, and then real human connection. Why? Because it's neuroscience, consistency. It beats intensity every time, right? So being consistent with these small actions, we can feel really great, right? So if you're a woman doc and you want to join Fresh Path MD, we talk about these in more detail. We have checklists. We're going to have our craft night. We're going to make something related to this. So let me know if you want a community of support for focus, support, and impact as a woman doc. Join me in Fresh Path MD. I would be honored to have you. There's 3 levels, and you're welcome to join at any of the levels that works for you. Okay, well, thanks for listening. You got this. The 4 things that can really help you come up with solutions for the current problem that you're challenged with. I know there's a lot of challenges going on right now, so I just want to help with some neuroscience tips that are real easy. And then like and subscribe, because I like to share neuroscience to further people. You got this. All right, everybody have a great day and call a friend.